Now it is being specially created. First, the Mother Earth, when it was created through the heat of the sun. So we can say that the sun is the father of the Mother Earth. Then she was brought very close to the moon. So it cooled down, absolutely it cooled down, it was all snow. Then it was brought closer to the sun and moved at a point where life could start working. And that's how the whole thing was organized beautifully to make life grow in that area. When the life started growing, gradually we know that how the carbon was formed. Now the carbon is formed by the same axis because there's heat in the axis, the energy of heat that converts the plants into carbon. Now this carbon is later on forms the basis for we can say for the production of carbohydrates, you can say, or all organic matter. But to create life, we had to have another help is the nitrogen. And this nitrogen was also, you'll be surprised to know, that was created by the same axis, by its movement. And when it created this nitrogen, the nitrogen gave us the amino acids. And when the amino acids were created within us, then we started our lives from amoeba and all that. Of course, this was done in the ocean, because in the ocean, with the movement, nitrogen was created and life was created. And then through the ocean it's emitted out, and that's how we have amino acids. With the amino acids, the formation of amino acids gave us the combinations and permutations, different lives. So in the whole evolutionary process, the Mother Earth has played a very big part through her axis. In the same way, in human beings, the axis is the most important part. That's the main principle of life we have got, is our axis. We have to stand on our axis. Those who do not stand on their axis, stand more towards the left or towards the left, are capable of complete destruction. Because either they will be destroyed by too much of right side or too much of left side. So our axis has to be properly dealt with. Now those people who do not have a proper axis can have problems of different chakras, of different kind of quality in a person. A person who stretches his axis too much, puts back his head like this, is a person who is very right-sided and creates problem with his ego. And the one who absolutely bends down, like a slavish person, also is a person who goes towards his destructiveness. Now there's a big problem between these two types of people, one trying to dominate another, and when they start dominating another person, they actually destroy themselves as well as destroy the ones whom they are dominating. For example, now we have seen that we had Britishers who came here and ruled us. We have seen the French went and ruled some other people. Then there are Portuguese who went and ruled some other people. But everything that they did to dominate and all that has double reactions. First of all, by their domination, say, Indians became very slavish. Indians become, even today, they are extremely slavish and they do not have that independent axis as they should have. Extremely slavish people they are. Especially I see in the West, I'm surprised when the Indians go from here. I find they are so very slavish. They try to sort of do all kinds of slavish acts to please the white-skinned people. The white skin became sort of a very adorable stuff in it. That added to the ego of the whites. Added to the ego of the whites, and today you see what's happening is all that ego is destroying them. They are on the verge of destruction because of their ego. So it is so unnatural and it is so superficial. One has to understand that what is the best within a human being is his axis. And everybody has an axis, and one must respect the axis of every person. In Sahaja Yoga, I don't know you by your faces so much. I know you by your chakras, by your sushumna, what sort of a sushumna you have. If you have a deep sushumna, I know you as a deep person. If you have a superficial sushumna, I know you as a person with a very superficial type of a sushumna. And even if you make up something by sort of being very nice or good or talking about Sahaja Yoga or knowing too much about Sahaja Yoga and saying things which will baffle normally anyone as if you are masters of Sahaja Yoga, I know how deep you are. So the depth on the axis is more important than anything else. Your axis has to be very deep. Now you will say that, Mother, the axis is the same as it is. So how can it be deep? So in the axis, as you see, is made in human beings is like a 3.5 coin paper-like thing. And the inside of it is the Brahmanadi. The Brahmanadi is a very, very small little, we can call a very, very hair-like thing, where only a hair like Kundalini can pass through. But when the person is deep, this Brahmanadi is bigger, and all the rest of them, which are coiled into each other, are smaller. While the people who are not deep, their outside, what you call the foldings, are bigger than the inside small thing. Now such people could be apparently very dynamic, may look very intelligent, may look very smart, may look to be very good looking, or whatever it may be, outwardly. But inwardly they are not deep. Inwardly, if they are deep, their whole attitude is beautiful. They are very joy-giving people. They are very joy-giving. And the more, if you meet a person of another kind, he may look joyous, he may try to give you joy, but the joy won't be really that deep. It would be like a joy killing. So it is important for us to make our axis deeper. And that is where we lack the proper assiduity, the proper effort we have to put in. Now some people have automatically very deep axis. And some people have very, very, what should you say, a very constricted type of the axis. This axis has to be grown. Now when you come for my puja and all that, I do expand it, I agree. But it is a temporary thing. To retain it at that point, one has to work at home, in the collective also. One has to work very much at home with meditation. But it should be done seriously. It should not be just a joke, to be frivolous, to be stupid. That's not the way. It should be done very seriously in the meaning that it is a devoted task you have taken. It's a meditative thing. It's a prayer to God. We can call it, it's a puja to God. It's to be done with that reverence. Because reverence is the key of achievement. If you have no reverence about yourself and no reverence of others, then it cannot be done. But first you must have reverence for your own life. What am I doing with my life? Where am I wasting it? Why should I waste it? Why should I be deep? After all, there must be some purpose of my life. Am I serving my purpose? Am I doing that? All these things, if they pop into your head, then you will understand it's very easy to fight out your ego. Because normally on small things people fight. I've seen that in Sahaja Yoga also, people fight on things like, it's so useless, absolutely useless. To me it sounds stupid. to even mention the way people fight over small things and quarrel. But a deep person, even if he doesn't speak much, even if he doesn't show off much, even if he doesn't sit in the front line, he expresses himself through his depth, because I can work out better through that. So to develop this, one must meditate. Important thing is to meditate every day, every day, every day. You may not eat your food one day, you may not sleep one day, you may not go to your office one day, you may not do anything that you are doing every day, but you must meditate every day. That's an important point to develop the central constricted part into a bigger area. Now, when that happens, that you start developing it, the first thing you will notice about yourself, that you do not care for any comfort. You're not bothered about any material thing. Whatever it is, you are above it. You just don't bother your head. Let it be. You just don't want to put your neck into a thing where you do not belong. You just get out of it, and you think that, oh God, this is too much for me. I just don't care for it. So your whole attention now moves inward. When the attention starts moving inward, then it expands more. This is the inner part, which is called as the Brahmanadi, and starts expanding and expanding. Now, in small things also, say for example, if I have not mentioned somebody and mentioned somebody else, then they feel, oh, why didn't mother mention my name? It's too small a thing that it doesn't matter. As long as you have a deep axis, you are with me, I am with you, absolutely one with each other. But these outward things are, oh, she gave